Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. We are here with the season 5A or the mid-season finale or however they're deciding to describe this of Lucifer. Last time on Lucifer, it was called My Mojo. What happened last time? So Lucifer and Chloe just went and did the deed in the previous episode before that, and now his ability to bring out people's desires or like ask them for their desires has been transferred to Chloe, so she can at least do it to him. So far, it doesn't look like she can do it to other people, just him. But yeah, they're solving a crime of like a serial killer. Seems like he's tying people up, cutting their vocal cords, giving them like flowers and stuff. And it's kind of creepy, and seemingly this person is caught at the end, but he gave this creepy little smile, which was kind of sus, which makes me think that he either killed way more people or he's working with someone. And then Ella went to like a Star Trek convention with creepy boy Peter, who's like perfect, but he's like too perfect, which makes me think he's sus. And so right now I'm putting the two sus characters together and thinking maybe they're working together in an attempt to kill Lucifer, Chloe, someone. I think Peter's appearance and how nice he is just too dang perfect. And I don't like it. But, that it is what it is. This is, like I said, this is the mid-season finale. So season 5, episode 8. It's called Spoiler Alert. So before we jump into it, please consider leaving a like on the video and please consider subscribing. That means so much. And then you might as well suggest maybe some new shows in the comments down below, since this week alone, I have finished season 2 of The Boys, season 2 of The Umbrella Academy, and now season 5A of Lucifer. So I'll be on just like Haunting of Bly Manor and then The Mandalorian when it comes back in a few days. So I might need one more show. I want to keep it maybe at 3 shows total. And so drop some suggestions in the comments. If I haven't seen it already, I'll think about giving it a shot. If I have seen it, I'm not gonna just like rewatch it because I don't think my reactions to it would be genuine. If that makes sense. Like I don't wanna pretend like I'm shocked by something like, oh no, I saw this 5 years ago. So don't be mad if I don't react to the show you suggest. I don't have a ton of time. This is just a hobby for me. Like I don't make nearly enough money from this to consider it even a part-time job. So just drop some comments below. What do you think I should react to next? Whether it be similar style to Lucifer, like similar genre or whatever, or if it's like nerdy, or if it's more like Outer Banks type show, because that seemed to do really well on the channel. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Back to Lucifer, though. We're going to jump right into Season 5, Episode 8. Get your fun pants on, because we're diving in. What's the gunshot for, eh? Oh, yeah, Lucifer got shot. I completely forgot about that, if I'm honest. That's how the last episode ended. That looks like it's slow-mo. So is Amenadiel there? Knew it. He put up those walls. He's no longer vulnerable to her.
Oh my God. You're okay.
Bulletproof vest?
I'm okay. You're okay.
Daniel?
You know him.
Yeah, invulnerable.
Just shoots himself.
You're all crazy.
Are you sure you're okay?
Nah.
More than okay.
He's super put up some walls in
Even
front.
around you.
All of a sudden. Why now?
Doesn't love you anymore.
Who cares? Would you rather the bullet had killed me?
Right.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. It could be anything. My initial guess is that he put up some emotional walls to prevent certain things, and he's just pretending, or not pretending, like maybe pretending to be vulnerable. Maybe he's just as confused as we are. I don't know. But my theory could super be wrong.
Hey, I am.
Akko Taco, that's a key to his apartment. He wants you to move in, or at least have access to it.
Wait outside for me next.
It's totally too fast.
Yep.
Or am I crazy?
I mean,
Well, I thought you said
it's too fast and he's crazy.
Is there such thing as too well?
Yep.
Okay,
Petey Boy is sus AF.
we go out to dinner. Ella, this is a good thing. Enjoy it. Embrace it. Okay. Embrace it. Okay. Right.
Chloe, that's horrible advice. She's gonna get murdered.
Think of me as your human shield. Or devil shield, rather. Come on, let's practice.
I mean,
No. Listen.
on the surface, that's a good idea.
Killer case. Something
But
isn't adding up.
at a certain point, so many people are gonna be like, yo, I shot this dude in the face and he's still alive. Someone eventually is gonna
Had no
investigate.
connection to
The silencer.
Interesting.
Husher.
That sucks.
No, maybe
Just hush. Just go with hush.
Shusher.
No, that one sucks too. You're bad at this.
Olivia.
Good old Olivia.
Well, I followed her home one night. San Antonio is a nice town for stalking.
You know, I'm sorry, it was Phoenix. Olivia was in Phoenix, right?
He didn't do it.
Right, yes, sorry.
He didn't do it.
It's kind of blended together.
He's the public face behind Petey's mastermind serial killing.
Superman child.
That you moved, not Olivia.
Dude, how do you suck this bad?
But you would know them, right?
You're supposed to be the face of this serial killing and you're absolute trash at it. Come on, dude.
I think it's time for my lawyer.
Yo, she just gave you ample evidence to get out of jail because you don't know basic things about these murders.
Brainstorming session.
Killshare? It's a website? Is it like Skillshare? Where serial killers teach each other all the tips and tricks on how to kill people? Take this masterclass on strangling. Or is it just like social media for murderers?
Lucifer, I was right.
Okay, so she's about to get knocked unconscious, right? Because she solved that
There's another
ASAP.
serial killer, and he's still out there. Listen, I got a lead tomorrow. in the arts
Gun to the head. I'm a genius. Scotty Thomas. Fake name for Petey Boy, right? I'm calling it.
Detective!
I mean, don't you have a key to her place? Couldn't you open the door like a normal person? Now you gotta fix that later. Bruh.
Detective.
He wasn't thinking about her. Classic. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. If you don't make that face when the theme song comes on, like, are you even a fan of Lucifer? Come on. Get with the program.
I should have listened to the detective.
Yeah, you should have. You should have. You should have been there. Why weren't you there? You should have been there.
Miss Lopez, we can't lose our heads right now. The detective needs us.
That was cute. That she cares a lot. Yeah, that looks like a murder place. That's like super definitely a murder's house. Reminds me of
Do you think Chloe's here? Should we call for
in Dexter with the freezer room in the back there.
We're developing a virtual reality game where the user gets to be a serial killer.
Why?
Humans.
Why would you make that game?
Yeah. They're all blunts. Clearly props.
Well then,
That game sounds horrible. That's like immediately gonna get banned on Steam.
Detective, wait.
All of Lily Mann's posts
are first-hand accounts of murders that match the Whisper Killers, with deets that haven't even gone public yet.
How did they not find this previously? But Chloe could find this in like 30 seconds when she's investigating on her own.
Well, maybe you can use the Nerd Squad. Some of the best around.
Oh my gosh, thank
He
you.
just volunteers his game development company to
I need to make a
tracking IP addresses. The nerds aren't like superheroes. They're not just immediately able to transfer their game development skills to tracking people down. It's not how that works.
But he was supposed to help me.
Crazy that they don't send like actual cops. They send a consultant and the forensics expert. Come on now. They would send like actual detectives and like a full squad car grouping. Like they would send the consultant and a forensics person. Dead body. Is it a dead body? That looks like a dead body. It's not Chloe. It's not her. Come on, dude. She's not dead. Unless she is, and season 5B is him getting her back from hell. That would be kind of crazy, but that's not her. There's no way that's her. Yeah, that's some rando. Who cares about her? And go arrest Peter, because he's definitely the killer.
I heard you only did the one.
How did you get in here?
She's a demon, bruh.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Guess my editor really liked my Whisper Killer coverage, because apparently I'm her crime beat guy now.
Oh, well, that seems great. I mean, why do you seem so down about it?
Well, I don't want you to think that I'm using our relationship for
Yo, you
personal
super
gain.
don't work
Say
for a
the word
paper.
and I'll leave.
You're just
I
here.
know, I would never think that.
You're here to figure out what the cops know about you killing people.
Because,
I don't even know why. I've been worried about.
Because he
moving
kills
back.
people in his free time.
see, no.
That's
but
why
I
you should be
know.
worried.
I could tell you were concerned.
Yeah, kind of, but
He's not a good dude,
you know
bro.
what?
Bro,
For once, I know a good thing when I see it. And
you super don't.
ugh,
You
I've
super
gotta rush
don't.
back to the precinct, but you do your thing.
I'm
Listen,
fully convinced this man is a murderer.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Probably dumb, but I did a ton of research on the Whisper Killer. It's all in a box at my place.
Research
Want it?
called
Are you trying to
your meticulous notes that you took while killing people. Or you're also a copycat killer working with the guy in jail.
Wait, you went through credit card statements and cross-referenced them?
Yes, we should call the restaurants, find out if any of them have surveillance cameras.
Dang, he's like putting in work right now, bro. He's doing that puzzle. Ooh, she wants that.
So only one of the.
If I still have my mojo, I'd just ask, what is it you desire?
I want to be a dancer.
Wait, did my mojo just work?
Done that before.
Interesting.
I'm back.
Interesting,
Amazing.
interesting, interesting.
Right.
So, have you ever heard of a demon getting a soul?
Of course not. That's impossible.
Yeah.
We're angels. You're just a demon.
Okay, well, that was a little rude. Don't say things like that to her. That's a fake outlet. Yeah, wind shouldn't go through there, bruh. Ooh. No, no. Wow, that is horribly hidden. Anyone moves that at his apartment and they can easily get in there. Murder. I knew it. I knew it. No way. Oh, Petey boy. Petey boy, you serial killer. Petey boy's a straight killer. Like, not just regular styles. He's like a super killer. And he's gonna be behind her. Oh no.
Hey,
Oh no. No, no.
I call. Did you you, but you didn't answer, so I just...
No.
I just came to grab you.
Don't kiss the man. Now he's gonna bend down and see the outlet. No. Oof. Super awkward talkward. Oh no. Akko Taco, full name awkward talkward.
No, don't!
This is such a bummer. I was really hoping.
No!
You're choking her, bro. How's she supposed to open her eyes? Should you stab him? Did she take his syringe? Okay, yeah. Gang. Smart move, Ella. Smart move. And she got him to the police.
So what, that whole time you were just using me to stay ahead of the investigation?
Yeah, it started that way and then it evolved.
Oh my god.
He's super honest.
You were gonna...
The only time I ever feel anything is when I'm hearing them choke on their own blood. Unable to talk. There is darkness in you, Ella. I recognized it the very first moment that we met.
What? At the DJ murder?
I don't know, okay? I didn't do anything to her. This is you breaking up with me, right?
Yeah, dude.
You're gonna burn in hell.
You confused about that? Like, we're like over, right? So I shouldn't plan things for the anniversary or like Valentine's Day. Like we're not going anywhere that day.
Stain was telling the truth. He
Come
has
on,
no
man.
idea.
What is he at the zoo? That looked like the zoo. She's super at the zoo.
So, why, you're not afraid of what his newfound invulnerability means? Because you do know that we angels, we self-actualize, right? Which means him choosing to be vulnerable around you, it actually meant something. So I'm just, putting it out there. I wonder what this new development could mean.
You're wrong.
Did I call this or no?
Lucifer and I are closer than ever.
I think I called this. I'm telling you, it's the zoo. Or it's a movie set. Bruh, he's an angel. What is hitting him with a rock gonna do?
It's a pretty mighty swing you've got there, detective. They're all abandoned zoos this
I
dangerous.
knew it. It's a zoo. Is this a fake dream or is this real?
By the way, my mojo's back. Isn't that great?
Really?
Huh?
No, she is not pleased with that.
That's great. If subconsciously you might be pushing me away because you say that you want this and you say that you want us, but do you?
I think he does. Why wouldn't he?
If mojo-wise, afraid
She's
that
gonna need you to say
you'll
it. She's gonna need you to say the words.
the same way that I feel about you.
I
La 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 la. La la.
detective.
Time is frozen. Did Amenadiel freeze time? Did Michael freeze time? Did Amenadiel's baby freeze time?
He's frozen. Charlie's frozen.
Yes, as is everything and everyone else, including the detective.
Means he's just a normal baby.
Everyone but us Celestials. Do you understand what that means? He'll feel pain, grow old, suffer.
Right, now I understand.
He's gonna have to watch his kid grow old and die.
All that from happening.
That sucks.
Or the Chucky here got sick because he's a frail little mortal who's destined to suffer and die a horrible human death.
Don't say that, man.
Die. Now who's lying? Die many,
Ooh.
many times soon.
Devil on your shoulder, angel on the other one.
Brother, don't let him...
Maze, don't join his team.
Because he promised me a soul.
That's impossible.
Why?
Oof. You know, from a theological, like, hierarchy standpoint, like, all of these angelic people should be able to beat the living crap out of Maze. As much as she is, like, oh, that's a cool shot. That's a dope-ass shot. As much as she is, like, a professional, like, torture demon, they should be able to annihilate her.
You hid my mother from me.
How did she... I'm sorry, Mace, but I gave Lilith my word.
Which is apparently more important to you than I am.
Fight scene! Woo! God dang, Amenadiel. Solid cut there. I liked that cut. Oh, see, yeah. He's way stronger. Maybe? I don't know. It's like Captain America and Bucky versus Tony Stark. Civil War, baby. Maze. Why are you in here, Maze? Quit it. She's gonna stab one of them. Wing fight. Let's go, brother. Hold up, what? This straight up God right now? Like, for reals? Who's he played by? Someone cool? Oh, okay.
Silk.
I'm cool with that.
When you fight.
Okay, okay. That's the end of the episode? God dang, man. Okay, that definitely kind of felt like two halves, or like two very different episodes. Like the whole first half of this episode felt like, I mean, pretty much was like finishing this serial killer case. And then the second half was Michael, was the setup for season 5B. Like, yeah, first half finishing season 5A with their, you know, PD Boy's a bad guy. I called it. Oh, I'm so smart. And then, yeah, second half, definitely a setup for this, the second half of this final season. This is the final season, correct? Right? God shows up? Hot damn. Let's start from the beginning. So first off, Dan shoots Lucifer, and he's totally fine. And I kind of called this last episode, like towards the end, where I was like, he's putting up some walls because maybe he's afraid of things not working out. And now he's invulnerable. Now the mojo's back, whatever. So he shoots Lucifer, and Lucifer's fine. And then he shoots himself, and he's like, it works. You know, maybe subconsciously he has put up a few walls that, you know, his relationship with Chloe isn't perfect. PD Boy, good old PD Boy, gives Ella a key to his house because he's moving hella quick. And, you know, overall, things are moving along in ways where you're like, this is not going to end well. You know, but they're like, hey, let's talk to this serial killer because I have some suspicions about why his motives are so different for the first 3 killings compared to this last one. And Chloe's talking to him. She's tripping him up. Obviously, he did not kill the first 3. He's a copycat, or he was working with a new person. I thought he was working with a new person. He's just a copycat. But he was talking with Petey Boy, which is very interesting. Did he know that Pete was like the actual killer? Or was Pete not the actual killer and Pete was also a copycat? No, Pete was the real killer. But Chloe is like, yo, bruh, like, let's solve this case. I want you to care about me and my interests in what's going down here. And Lucifer is so focused on getting petty revenge on Dan that he just ignores Chloe, and he's like, you know, I'm gonna go do this. And then Chloe gets kidnapped right away. You know, they make it seem as though they want you to think it's the serial killer being like, because that's such a trope in like mystery type stuff where the person, like, if they take an entire season to figure this out, then yeah, they're catching the killer. But if they figure this out in like 10 minutes, like in this case like 30 seconds, not gonna end well. That person's either gonna die or get kidnapped. She gets kidnapped, and they make it so you want to think it's the killer, but it's definitely not. It's Daniel. He kidnapped her, or at least no, he didn't kidnap her. Sorry, Michael did. But Daniel was probably aware. No, Daniel wasn't aware. Because afterwards he seemed very surprised. But yeah, Ella and Lucifer freaking out the whole time. They go to this game developer and he's like, oh yeah, there's just a open website for murdering people. And it's like, how has the FBI not shut this down? There's no way the United States government like allows for a website, like an unmoderated website, to exist where people just openly talk about their fantasies of murdering people, and like actual murderers give first-hand accounts of murders happening. Like, how did the police previously not look at the 3 people that were serial murdered and then look at the posts from this dude and be like, hey bro, that's the exact same. let's find out who this is and arrest them. It's like, come on. Clearly, like, that's one thing this show has, is just kind of like somewhat of a lack of understanding of how certain real life things work. Like when the guy's like, hey, my game developers, they can help you track this person. What? just because these people have a background in tech and they know how to develop a video game doesn't mean they have intimate knowledge on how to track your IP address to certain places. Like, they're not Superman. They can't just do everything just because, like tech isn't just a giant sphere where if one person knows part of it, they know all of it. It's like, come on now. Meanwhile, Charlie's sick. Maze is pissed at Lucifer. Amenadiel's going to the hospital with his baby. Lucifer and Ella find this lady. They think it's Chloe. It's not Chloe. Maze tortures the serial killer. Petey shows up to the crime scenes and is straight up just like, hey, bruh, I'm here to get some info on how far along you guys are in the investigation. And it's like super clear. It's like, I don't even know if this guy actually works for like a real newspaper or publication or whatever. Like, who knows if he's actually a reporter. He's probably just there to get info, which he kind of admits later on that he's basically just hanging out with her to get info on the case. And it's super gross that he's using her that way, but it is what it is. Meanwhile, the whole episode, Maze is like super tense with Lucifer. She doesn't want to tell him what's going on. You know, she's eyeing his ring. She's asking him questions like, can demons get souls? And he's not doing things well, where he's like, oh, you're just a demon. And, you know, he can't lie. So maybe he believes, underneath, he believes these things to an extent. Like, as far as he knows, these things can't happen. But it, you know, it could be entirely different. Meanwhile, Ella, like, for some reason, Pete, what a moron. Like, he's trying not to get caught as a murderer, and he's like, hey, Ella, go to my house alone, find this file of evidence which is conveniently placed on a movable, like, bookcase. Like, not even something that's super hard to move. Like, she moved that real like, you lean on that wrong. Like, you could be chilling in his house, just like talking to him, and maybe you're like, oh, I'm gonna lean on this little shelf thing real quick. You lean on that even a little bit, and it's like sliding away, and it's like, welcome to the murder room. Like, why would you put that there? you're so bad at your murdering, like, sneakiness. Like, what are you doing, Petey boy? Like, get good at killing people or get out. Like, mighty convenient that he just sets it there. She finds his flowers in his murdering spot. He's pissed because he's like, oh, you know, I thought you were different. You caught me killing people. No, you're gonna die. She knocks him out. He's the actor's pretty good at being a creepy dude. He's like super forthright, like really honest. He's like, yeah, I just started hanging out with you at first because I wanted to know, you know, how far along you were, which is interesting because he met her at the DJ place, like the DJ murder, right? And he's like, I saw some darkness in you. It's like, what? How? Like, what darkness was she portraying there? But it is what it is. Like, it's fairly quick end to that investigation, I guess. But he didn't take Chloe, so they're like, what's going on? That's about the 40-minute marks. So that's like the last 22 minutes of this episode are all like set up for next season. I knew Chloe was in the zoo. as soon as I saw like the bars and the outside, I was like, that's a zoo. But yeah, Michael has her in the abandoned zoo. He's stoking her fears that Lucifer doesn't actually love her. Because, you know, it's possible that he might not fully, like, I don't think this is like necessarily a case of like, I don't love you type thing. It's just maybe he is, you know, in every relationship, there's a stage where, you know, both parties aren't completely on the same level of feelings for each other, right? Like, they're not both just like, I don't want to use their word climaxing, but they're not both reaching the I love you stage at the exact same point. Like, at a certain point, someone truly does feel like I love you. The other person might not necessarily feel that way, but they're going to say it anyway. But in this case, Lucifer can't lie, so he can't just straight up be like, I love you or I don't love you, because like, he definitely has strong feelings for her. It's just he may not be entirely sure how to express them or like what that means for him, because he's got angelic, you know, there's more than just one person whether they love each other. Like, there's so much, like, the theological ramifications are massive, and he's probably, those are probably going through his head of like, what does this mean? So, and he's probably a little scared, because, you know, he's been alive for what, like millennia, and now, you know, he's falling in love, but at the same time, things about him are changing because of that, like things that he has been used to his entire life, that he may not be super ready to give up. You know, he may in the end make that choice to be okay with that, but at this point, maybe he's a little scared of like how quickly this is moving. Like it's quickly gone from like just being in a relationship or like having feelings for one another to like his entire life and understanding of who he is almost being kicked out from under him. Similar to what Chloe went through when she was like, I'm like going through the whole I'm the gift thing. Like her whole understanding of life was kicked out from under her. Now it's kind of also happening to Lucifer. So they both, at certain points throughout the season, both season 5A and I guess now season 5B, they'll both have to make that choice of, you know, life and who they think they are might not be perfectly what they think it is or under their control or all that, but they have the choice to choose the relationship. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, so who knows? But yeah, they're stoking that. They eventually get her out, and Maze is there, and somehow Michael gets her on his side by promising her a soul, and it's just like, not good. And then Chloe and Lucifer are having their heart-to-heart, and he's literally about to be like, I love you. Maybe he's going to say it. Maybe he's struggling to say it. I don't know if he actually would have been able to say it. Probably a good thing that time paused, because I don't know if he would have been at the stage where he's ready to say it yet. Amenadiel accidentally completely stopped time because he's so afraid. You know, it's every parent's worst nightmare to like have their child die before them, right? Like that has got to be easily the most frightening possibility someone can think of. You know, like having your spouse die, that's horrible. You know, you never want to go through that, but having your child die before you as a parent has got to be the worst thing that could ever happen to you. Like, so he's sitting here, Michael's telling him, you know, your baby is just a baby. It's immortal. You are going to watch this kid grow old and die. And that's always like one of the biggest aspects of storytelling when a character is immortal and they have relations with any sort of normal person. That like the storyline always comes into play where eventually you are going to watch that person grow old and die, and then you'll be back alone again. And oftentimes it turns this immortal person bitter. So Amenadiel is being confronted with the idea that he's going to watch his kid grow old and die, or he's going to constantly have to be afraid that his child could be hurt. You know, he you know, it's not necessarily a situation where he's just a normal parent now, because he will continue to live on no matter what, pretty much. So yeah, he's being confronted with the stark reality that his child, you know, is not going to live on with him. And it could be a possibility that Michael gave this kid the cold or the flu or whatever, but the baby did stop. The baby did stop in time, so it's entirely possible it could be a real like regular mortal baby, or it could be like a manifestation of Amenadiel's fears. Like if Amenadiel was in his mind fully convinced that Lucifer was not Lucifer and he was like a normal human person, it is entirely possible maybe that he could freeze Lucifer in time. You know, maybe Charlie just froze in time because Amenadiel's so convinced now that he's a regular baby. He could be still an angelic baby. We don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. And then there's this whole fight scene at the end. Maze is pissed at Lucifer, telling him, like, you kept my mother from me. And he's like, how did you know that? Obviously, Michael. And they're throwing down. And, you know, at first I was like, yo, how is Michael and Maze even coming close to holding their own in this fight? Maze kicks Lucifer through a window, which by the way was a dope shot, like super dope. When she walks through that glass, that was sick as hell. But I was thinking, like, how is it possible that she could even come close to holding her own in this fight? Yeah, she's like a super torture demon, like bred for combat and torture and all this, and she's incredible. But she's also, like, I hate to use like Lucifer's words or whatever in this episode against her, but she is just a demon. Like, the hierarchy here is like, if she's here, like, okay, if normal human people are here in their like combat ability and magic powerness, she's like way up here, right? And then you bring that down. If she's here with her magical ability and invulnerability and whatever, Lucifer and Michael and Amenadiel are like way, like, so you can't even see them on the screen. Like, they're gone. Like, they would, if they really tried, they would just annihilate her, which kind of shows in this episode where Michael's an archangel though, so theoretically, I mean, maybe he's hurt because I think in the DC property, someone said there's a storyline or whatever where his wing or his shoulder got stabbed or hurt or something. So maybe he's not fully at 100%, which is like, is Amenadiel an archangel? I just remember Amenadiel talking about being like the right hand of God, like God's like combat fist type person. Like, if war was gonna happen, Amenadiel's the one that goes in and just tanks all the damage, just takes people out. He's destroying kids left and right. So it might make sense that he's able to beat up Amenadiel in this fight. Like, he goes ham. But it really makes sense when Lucifer is fighting Maze and he's just like, you know what, I'm done with this. Just puts her on the ground. It's like, it's over. Like, you're done in this fight, Maze. Like, stop it. You're being annoying now. And then he goes and it's like briefly, it's like Captain America Winter Soldier, where it's like Bucky and Cap fighting Tony Stark a little bit on the stairs, and it's like, and then you hear stop, and it's like, what that? And freaking God shows up, brother. Let's go. It's always so fun. They can't bring in God too early. I think there was certain parts of Supernatural where there are hints where people were like, is that God? Like, Supernatural, when it's gone for 15 seasons, and it's really good, but at a certain point, like, the stakes of Supernatural almost stopped mattering, because around season 7 is when they started like bringing in like angels and demons and all this like higher power type stuff. And then it went for 8 more seasons, and it's like, at a certain point you reach the top, like the threshold of power and influence in this story. You can't just then take it farther, because then the storylines don't matter. So I like that Lucifer made it pretty much to the end of its run without bringing God into the story, like physically, like God showing up. We always kind of wondered maybe like, when is God going to show up in this show? He shows up now. And he's like, I hate it when you fight. And then the episode ends and it's like, what? You just gonna end it there with God showing up? Get out of here, pal. I love the actor they chose for that though. He's been in a lot of other things. He was in He's been in some episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I believe he was in 24. He's the guy from the insurance commercial. Quality actor. I like him a lot as an actor. And I think this actually is God showing up in this scene, because the characters in the scene all stopped and they were all like awestruck, and then straight up were like, Dad? Like, what? So I think this actually is God. That the implications for this going forward, though, that's insane. This is gonna be crazy. This was a super fun first half of the season. You know, I think there were some quality things that happened. It was a lot of like crime of the week type stuff, with sprinkles of deeper story, which is indicative of how all of the rest of Lucifer has been. But I think maybe the second half, season 5B or whatever, I hope is less crime of the week stuff and more of like, let's deal with this, you know, big God storyline. You know, maybe he's gonna be mad that his wife is like in an alternate dimension. Who knows? Friggin' A, brother. This was really enjoyable. I like this a lot. Let me know in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode? You know, were you a fan of all the shenanigans that went down, or were you a fan of Dan's quick turn? I wasn't the biggest fan of Dan like immediately falling. I mean, it's somewhat believable, but you know, I don't enjoy seeing Dan just like fall apart within the matter of an episode. What do you think's gonna happen with the introduction of God? You know, whose side is he gonna take in this? Is he gonna take a side? How is Lucifer gonna deal, you know, with all his daddy issues? How is he gonna deal with literally God showing up? Like, is he gonna pretend to be a normal person and interact with all the rest of the people in the show? Are people like Chloe gonna know, you know, that this is actually God? How is she gonna take that with her like being created by him type thing? You know, there's lots of questions going forward. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. You know, I've been talking a lot, so I'm interested to hear from you guys. What did you think of that fight? What did you think of Maze walking through that glass? What do you think? How are they going to resolve that storyline with Maze trying to get a soul? Do you think she'll get one? I hope she does. I think she deserves one, but I think that she'll be made mortal, because she is immortal, right? She's like an immortal demon. And the ring, does that ring have Lilith's soul in it, or just her immortality? I think it's just her immortality. So, you know, does she want that ring? Is she going to try and get that ring from Lucifer? Is God gonna grant her a soul? Because he could do that, maybe. I mean, theologically, if within the context of this show and the DC property, it's entirely possible that he might. Within the context of actual biblical theology, no. He would immediately murder her. He would just be like, boom, you're gone, deadzo. Well, maybe not, because if this was actual theological biblical stuff, him showing up right here would be weird. Like, it wouldn't happen this way. God himself would not show up. It would be Jesus, and he would be bringing war, with the sword coming out of his mouth and tattoos all down the word tattooed on his body. It would be insane. He would take Lucifer and throw him into a pit of sulfur, and you know, war. I mean, it wouldn't even be war. It would be like easy peasy overs type stuff. But that's theology, which doesn't necessarily apply to this show. So, yeah, let me know what you think of all of this down below. I'm very excited for the second half of this. When is season 5B coming? I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be reacting to it when it comes out, obviously, but I don't know when it comes out. So if you know when it comes out, let me know down below. If you have suggestions for shows to add to the rotation in the meantime, let me know. I'll still be reacting to Mandalorian Season 2, Haunting of Bly Manor, The Expanse Season 5 when it comes out. I'll be reacting to that. Yeah. Gang. I think those are all my thoughts. Thank you for being here. It's been a wild ride. I was real, when I sussed out Petey Boy, I was real proud of myself when it revealed him as a murderer. I was like, yes. Even though that's not good, I was like, yes. I'm always pumped when I'm right about things. Yeah. That's all I got. I keep saying that's all I got, and then I say more things. Which is obviously not the way you're supposed to go about it. But this time, that's really all I got. I will catch you guys in the second half of the season, or preferably in reactions to my other shows. I have 1,200 people subscribe to me. Guys, watch all of my videos, not just some of them. Watch every single one of them. If you're not watching a show that I'm watching, start watching that show. I need those views, man. No, for real this time. That's all I got. I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.